Malik followed a man with the familiar eyes down a narrow corridor. The walls seemed to breathe, heavy with ancient stories. At the end, a carved wooden door opened into a circular chamber lit by flickering torches. "You're here because your blood carries a memory," the man said. "What your father ran from, you must now face." On the central table lay a parchment. Malik stepped closer. It listed names, dates, and a symbol he'd seen in his dreams. A circle split by an arrow. "That's the seal of the Order of Silence," the man whispered. "Your father was one of us. And you're the last heir." Malik felt the weight of legacy pressing down on him. He had always believed his destiny was his to write. Now he realized he had to decode it first. "If you sign this pact," the man continued, "you abandon your old life. You become guardian of what must never be revealed." Silence fell. Malik looked at the parchment, then at the man. He thought of his mother, his friends, everything he might lose or protect. He picked up the pen. The ink hadn't dried when the torches flickered violently. Malik felt a sudden chill, as if the room itself had exhaled. The man with the familiar eyes stepped back, his expression unreadable. "You've crossed the threshold," he said. "Now they will come." Malik's heart pounded. "Who?" "The keepers of memory. They guard the truths buried by time. And now you carry one." The chamber shifted. Walls dissolved into mist, revealing a vast underground archive, shelves of scrolls, relics, and glowing stones pulsing like heartbeats. Malik walked forward, drawn to a pedestal where a single object rested. A mirror cracked down the center. He looked into it and saw himself, but older, worn, eyes heavy with knowledge and loss. Suddenly, whispers filled the air, voices from the past, fragments of stories, warnings, regrets. Malik staggered back. "You must learn to listen," the man said. "Not all truths speak in words." Malik clenched his fists. He had signed the pact. Now he had to survive it. The mirror's whispers faded, but the echo remained in Malik's chest. He turned to the man, who now held a small obsidian box. "This," the man said, "is your first trial. Inside is a memory that does not belong to you, yet it will shape you." Malik opened the box. A rush of wind burst out, and suddenly he was somewhere else. A battlefield, dusk falling, shadows clashing in silence. He saw a younger version of his father, wounded, clutching the same cracked mirror. Around him, figures in cloaks fought without sound, blades slicing through air like whispers. Malik tried to move, but he was only a witness. The memory unfolded like a storm. Then, a voice rang out, not from the scene, but from within him. "Will you carry the pain of others to protect the truth?" Malik gasped. The vision vanished. He was back in the chamber, the box now empty. The man nodded. "You passed, but the trials will grow harder. The Order does not protect secrets. It protects the world from what secrets can do." Malik stood, shaken but resolute. "I'm ready," he said. Malik had barely recovered from the trial when the chamber doors creaked open again. A figure stepped in, tall, cloaked in silver, with eyes like ice. "This is Idris," the man said. "He was trained alongside your father. And now he questioned your place here." Idris's gaze was sharp. "The Order is not a legacy to inherit. It's a burden to earn." Malik stood his ground. "I didn't ask for this, but I won't run from it." A flicker of approval crossed Idris's face. Or was it challenge? "You'll prove yourself," Idris said. "Tomorrow you enter the labyrinth." Malik had heard whispers of it. A maze beneath the archives, built to test memory, instinct, and will. No map, no guide, only the truth you carry. That night, Malik couldn't sleep. He stared at the cracked mirror, wondering what had shown his father, wondering what would show him. At dawn, the doors to the labyrinth opened, and Malik stepped inside. The stone door closed behind Malik with a thunderous finality. He was alone now, surrounded by walls that pulsed faintly with light, not from torches, but from memories etched into the stone. Each step forward triggered a whisper. "Malik, Malik." He turned, but no one was there. The voice was his mother's. Then another corridor. His childhood laughter echoed, followed by the sound of his father's voice, stern and distant. The labyrinth wasn't just a maze. It was a mirror. Malik reached a fork. One path bathed in golden light, the other shrouded in shadow. He hesitated. From the darkness, a figure emerged, cloaked, faceless, but familiar. It spoke in a voice that chilled him. You carry the truth, but do you carry the strength to bear it? Malik clenched his fists. I will not be broken. The figure vanished, leaving behind a single object, a pendant shaped like the Order's seal, the broken circle and arrow. He took it, and the walls shifted. Now, the labyrinth was watching high. Malik pressed forward, pendant in hand. The labyrinth shifted again. Walls melted into glass, reflecting endless versions of himself. Some were older, some younger, some twisted. He stepped into the maze. Each reflection spoke. You're not ready. You'll fail like your father. You were never chosen, only convenient. Malik's breath caught. The voices weren't just illusions. They were doubts he'd buried deep. The maze wasn't testing his path. It was testing his soul. He closed his eyes and whispered, I am not my fear. The reflection shattered. Silence. Then, a single mirror remained. In it, Malik saw a memory he didn't recognize, a woman cloaked in red, holding a child, not him, but someone else. She looked up and whispered. Protect him. Malik touched the glass. A surge of energy pulsed through him. The pendant glowed. The maze dissolved. He was back in the chamber. Idris stood waiting. You saw her, Idris said. The one your father tried to forget. Malik's voice was steady. She's part of the truth, and I won't run from it. Idris nodded, but his eyes held something else. Fear. Malik stood in the chamber, pendant still glowing faintly. Idris's eyes lingered on it, not with curiosity, but with something colder. Envy. You saw her, Idris said again, voice tight. She was never meant to appear. Malik stepped forward. Who is she? Idris hesitated. Then, with a bitter edge, she was the keeper of the first memory. Your father broke the rules to protect her, and the Order erased her. Malik's pulse quickened. Erased? She knew too much. She loved too deeply. And she bore a child who was never supposed to exist. Malik froze. You mean me? Idris didn't answer, but the silence was confirmation enough. Malik's world tilted. The trials, the mirror, the whispers, they weren't just tests. They were fragments of a truth buried by the Order itself. You knew, Malik said. You've always known. Idris's voice dropped to a whisper. I watched your father fall. I won't let you rise. Before Malik could react, Idris vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a trail of smoke and a warning. The next trial won't be given. It will be taken. Malik stood alone in the chamber, Idris's warning echoing in his mind. The next trial won't be given. It will be taken. He knew what that meant. He had to go where no initiate was allowed. The forbidden archive, hidden beneath the labyrinth, sealed by memory locks. The archive held the secrets the Order had buried even from itself. Malik descended the spiral staircase, pendant glowing faintly, guiding him through the darkness. At the final gate, he whispered the name he had seen in the mirror. Amina. The gate opened. Inside, rows of memory stones pulsed with ancient light. Malik reached for one and was pulled into a vision. He saw Amina, the woman in red, standing before the Council of the Order. Her voice was fierce. You cannot erase truth. You cannot silence love. The Council responded with silence and exile. Malik staggered back. The vision faded. But something had changed. The pendant now burned with light. And behind him, a voice spoke. You've seen too much. Idris. But this time, he wasn't alone. Malik turned slowly. Idris stood at the edge of the chamber, flanked by two cloaked figures. Their faces hidden, their presence heavy. But behind Malik, a soft voice spoke. You're not alone. From the shadows, a woman stepped forward. Her cloak was deep crimson, her eyes fierce. Amina. Malik's breath caught. You're real. She nodded. They tried to erase me. But memory is stronger than silence. Idris snarled. You were banished. You have no place here. Amina raised her hand, and the pendant around Malik's neck pulsed with light. The chamber trembled. I have every place here, she said. And so does he. The cloaked figures hesitated. One stepped back. The other lowered their hood. A young man, barely older than Malik. I was told to follow the order, he said. But I've seen the truth. I choose Malik. Idris's fury ignited. Then you choose rebellion. Malik stepped forward, voice steady. No, we choose remembrance. The chamber lit up, not with fire, but with memory. The walls shimmered with visions long buried. And the order, once built on silence, began to crack.